I've been thinking about what it means to actually start over. Not just to say it, but to actually do it. Last video, I opened up about something I'd been carrying for a long time. And this one is about what comes next. There's a difference between knowing what's wrong with your life and actually doing something about it. I've known what's wrong for a while. A long while, if I'm being honest. You can know you need to change direction and still just stand there, staring at the road, not moving. And it's not always laziness. Sometimes it stems from fear. Sometimes it's that you've tried before and even it didn't work. Sometimes it's that change feels so big and so far away that you don't even know where to put your first foot. I've had a lot of those feelings, and even now, daring to step into the unknown, I still have some of those at the back of my mind. But I've reached a point in my life where just knowing what the problem is isn't enough. Sitting with the awareness of what's wrong has started to feel like its own kind of waste. Because you can spend years being well informed about your own failures and never actually change anything. I don't want that to be the story. So this video, this channel, is me choosing the other thing. Not perfectly, not with some dramatic announcement or even a plan that I've got fully mapped out yet. I'm just turning. I'm facing in a different direction and I'm beginning to walk. You might have noticed what's on the screen right now. I started a new Minecraft world. Fresh, with nothing in it. Just the terrain generating and a character standing in the middle of it with no tools, no shelter, or no idea what's around the corner. I'm not going to over-explain this because I think you get it. But there's something about starting a world from nothing that felt right for this video, you know? You don't spawn in with a house that you've already built, and you don't start with the resources that someone else had gathered. You start with your hands, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And you figure it out as you go along. And that's where I am right now. I'm not walking into this next chapter of my life with everything sorted. The habits I built up around gambling, around avoidance, around the way I used to spend my time and my energy, those don't just disappear because I made a video about them. I know that. I've tried enough times to already know that. But what I'm trying to do differently this time is build something in place of it. Not just stop something. I want to actually build something. Because I've noticed that stopping alone doesn't work for me. You take something away and you end up just leaving a gap or a hole that was originally filled by that addiction or whatever it is that you're trying to remove from your life. And gaps don't just stay empty. You fill them with something. And if you haven't decided what that something is, it usually gets filled with the same thing you were trying to stop. So this channel is part of what I'm building. This world on the screen is part of what I'm building. If that makes sense. the small things, the real things. Things I can come back to. And you'll be able to watch the world grow alongside everything else. I think that's worth something, you know. As silly as it may sound, I truly do think that is worth something. I want to take a moment to talk to you guys about faith. And I want to do it carefully, because I'm not trying to preach at you. And I've already said, that's not what this channel is. But the name means something to me. Crafted by faith. And I think it's worth explaining why. Faith, for me, isn't something I have perfectly figured out yet. It's not a thing I use to tie a bow on difficult situations. It's more like a foundation that I keep coming back to, even when I've drifted away from it. Even when I've made decisions that pulled me far from it. There's a line I keep thinking about. It's from the Hebrews. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not yet seen. I come back to that because where I am right now, I can't see how this turns out. I can't see the finished version of the person I'm trying to become. I have no proof that this time is going to be different. And I think for a long time, I used that uncertainty as a reason not to try. Like, what's the point if I don't know if it's going to work? If there's no guarantee, if there's no finish line within sight, then what is the point in all of this? But that's not how faith operates. Faith isn't certainty. Faith is moving away. It's taking that step even when you can't see where it lands. It's trusting the process of trying, not because you've guaranteed a result, but because staying still has already proven what it produces. And I think there's something in the idea of renewal that runs all the way through this scripture. The whole concept of new beginnings isn't something that gets reserved for people who've already got it together. It shows up again and again for people in the middle of their mess. People who've made a wreck of things. People who are starting over, And I do apologise because I am just rambling with whatever comes to my mind. I've kind of gone off my script at this point, but I hope you guys sort of get a grasp and understand of what I am saying. But I take comfort in this, not as a get out of jail free card, but as a genuine reminder that the road back is real and other people have walked it. So I am now, it's my turn to try and walk. So if you're watching this and something about it seems familiar, even just a slice of it, if you've got your own version of the thing I talked about in my last video, or just a sense that your life has drifted somewhere where you didn't quite perhaps mean for it to go, I want you to know something. You don't have to have this sorted to be here. And I want you to really, really think about that. I'm not standing on the other side of something. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to pull you onto this side that I've climbed this mountain and now I'm down on the other side. I'm not handing back the wisdom that I've learned from somewhere better, because I'm in it right now. I'm in the same boat as you yourself. I'm filming this in the middle of it, on the journey, and that's what I really want you guys to understand. This channel isn't a success story with a beginning and an end. It's a document of someone actually trying, and if you guys can just relate to that, then it will mean the world to you. To me, not to you. If that's useful to you, if watching someone else navigate this honestly in real time helps you feel like it might be possible for you too, then come along. That's genuinely why I'm making this. Not to build an audience, not to become something, just to do this out loud so it feels more real, and so maybe someone else finds it useful whilst I'm at it as well. You don't need to be religious for this to be your space. You don't need to be at rock bottom. You don't need to have a dramatic story. You just need to be someone who wants to do a little better than yesterday. That's enough. I want to be clear about what this channel is going to be. It's not going to be perfectly edited with a new 1 out of 10 video every week. It's not going to be a highlight reel. I'm not going to pretend that every week is progress, because it won't be. Some weeks I'll probably come here and tell you that I struggled. Some weeks the Minecraft world will have a burnt down house and a bad decision, and I'll have to be honest about that too. What I'm hoping it becomes is a record, a real one. Something I can look back at in a year's time and see the distance that I've covered, or haven't. Something that holds me accountable in a way I've never really let myself be held before. Because I've always kept this stuff very private, very internal, and that's part of why it kept repeating. There's something about saying it in front of people that makes it harder to quietly undo. So that's what this is. Accountability that's actually visible. Progress that isn't performed but documented. And hopefully, in among all of that, something that's worth watching. Whether you're someone going through your own version of this, or you're just someone who appreciates honesty. This is just the start, and I mean that literally. Not as a motivational tagline, just as a fact. I've done one video. I've started one world. I've made one decision that might become 100 decisions, or might fall apart next week. I don't know yet. What I do know is that this time I'm not just thinking about it. I'm not just telling myself that I'll start properly when things calm down, or I'll start next week, or when I feel more ready, or when the timing is better. I've just run that loop enough times to know that it goes nowhere. So I'm starting now. Imperfect, unfinished, still figuring out what the next step looks like. But I'm starting. If you want to come along, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.